Let me ask you something. When was the last time Warframe shook the entire foundation of how we play? Because after DevStream 191, it honestly feels like Digital Extremes is about to do it again. This upcoming Focus expansion isn't just a small update, it's not a balance pass, and it's definitely not a simple add-on. It feels like a complete evolution of the Operator and Drifter, the Focus schools, and how we use the Void itself. And the more you look at it, the more it feels like one of the biggest gameplay shifts since the original Focus rework years ago. So in this video, I want to walk you through everything the devs revealed, what each new Tauron strike does, how you get the new Focus expansions, how all of this is going to change gameplay, and of course, what you should be preparing for right now before the old piece arrives. And hey, while you're here, drop a comment telling me which Focus school you think you're going to main after this update, because the changes are wild and honestly pretty exciting for everyone. So let's start with what the devs actually announced during the stream. First, we are getting a full visual and UI overhaul for the Operator and the Drifter. The entire presentation is new screens, new animations, new ways to mod and customize them. This includes a full modding system with more than 20 new upgrades specifically designed for Operators and Drifters. The goal is to make them feel like real builds, not something we pull out only for certain boss mechanics. On top of that, each Focus school is getting an expansion, new nodes, new abilities, and these new nodes cost more Focus than anything we've seen before. So if your Focus tree has been sitting at maxed, well, it's about to be unmaxed real fast. But the biggest news from the devs was the confirmation of Tauron's strikes. These are giant, cinematic, completely unique ultimate abilities for every Focus school. They are huge visual attacks powered by the Void, and every school gets one that matches its identity and theme. But here's the twist. You don't unlock them just by spending Focus. You'll need resources from the new Perita Rebellion mode, and you'll need to interact with a faction called the Devil's Triad, who will help you unlock and upgrade something called Tectalist artifacts. These artifacts directly enhance the Tauron strikes. So it's an actual progression loop. New mode, new faction, new resources, new mods, new Focus nodes, new ultimates. Everything ties together. Now let's talk about each Tauron strike, because this is where things get really interesting. Naramon's Tauron strike is called Vexoric. This one summons a massive void blade that slices across a wide area. It's clean, fast, and sharp, exactly what you'd expect from the school built around stealth, precision, and assassination. If you love melee or you love wiping out enemies with quick hits, Vexoric is basically the ultimate anime-style finishing slash. Unairu's Tauron strike is Kogron. This one summons a gigantic void hammer and slams it down with enormous impact. It's the most bonk-the-room ability of the entire lineup. It fits Unairu perfectly. Strong crowd control, heavy impact, and that feeling of raw, unstoppable resistance. Expect it to knock enemies around and stagger entire groups. Vazarin's Tauron strike is Nidri. This one summons a glowing void staff that sends out a wide supportive wave. The animation alone makes it clear that it's a defensive or healing strike. If you're a support player, or if you're the friend who's always saving your squad, Nidri is basically your moment to shine. Madarai's Tauron strike is Thara, and this one is going to make Madarai mains very happy. It summons a massive void bow, and you fire a piercing beam or arrow that destroys everything in its path. It's dramatic, long-range, explosive, and it fits Madarai's identity as the damage-focused school. Expect this one to shred bosses or wipe entire lines of enemies in a single shot. Finally, Zenurik gets Lorak, a floating void book that fires a focused beam. Zenurik has always been the energy and flow school, and Lorak looks like a precise, controlled burst, perfect for long sustained DPS or utility-focused players who like to manage the battlefield from a distance. Now let's talk about how you actually get these new Focus expansions and Tauron strikes. You start by unlocking new nodes in each Focus school, and this costs more Focus than any previous node. You'll also customize these abilities on your Operator or Drifter using the new modding screen. To upgrade the Tauron strikes, you'll need to farm the Perita Rebellion game mode, collect its new resources, and bring them to the Devil's Triad faction, specifically an NPC named Marie, who handles the tactilist artifacts necessary for improving these abilities. So, you're not just clicking buttons in a menu. You're going to be running missions, trading for artifacts, upgrading mods, and building an entire operator or drifter loadout around your preferred focus school. It's an actual grind loop built with purpose. So how will all of this affect gameplay? Honestly, in a really big way. First, operators and drifters are now becoming core parts of gameplay. They're no longer pop out for 3 seconds, do the mechanic, pop back in. They will matter, and you will feel the difference. Second, focus schools will finally have strong, clear identities again. You won't just pick Zenuric because energy good or Materai because damage good. You'll pick based on your Tauron strike, your operator build, and what role you want to play in missions. Third, Warframes themselves are going to have new synergies with Tauron strikes. Crowd control frames will pair perfectly with piercing attacks. Tank frames will complement defensive strikes. Support frames will stack with healing waves. Damage frames will love the big burst options. The whole meta won't flip upside down, but it will shift, and it will shift in a fun, refreshing direction that encourages experimentation. Now, what should you be doing right now before the old piece drops? First, start banking focus immediately. The new nodes are expensive, and you don't want to start the update broke. Second, get ready to grind Parry to Rebellion as soon as it arrives, because everyone will be there farming the resources needed for Tauron upgrades. Third, choose the school you want to commit to first. You don't want to log in on day one and waste time being indecisive. Know whether you want raw damage, support, control, stealth, or utility. And finally, stay flexible. The meta is going to shift, and some combinations will surprise all of us. Go in with the mindset that this update is a chance to experiment and rediscover both your Warframe and your operator. So yeah, the old piece is shaping up to be the kind of update that doesn't just add content, it adds depth. It adds identity. It adds new tools, new styles, and new ways to express how you want to play. Whether you're a Naramon enjoyer, a Zenuric loyalist, or someone who just wants to slam a Void Hammer into a crowd of enemies, this expansion has something for you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video. Drop a comment telling me which Tauron strike you're most excited for, and subscribe so you don't miss the guides I'll be dropping when the update arrives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Tano, the truth of Tau must not be taken from us again.
Finally, let us dance.